our card.
Здрасте.
Hello.
Уважаемые друзья,
Dear friends,
от имени руководства,
allow
от
me,
имени всех
on
курсантов,
behalf of the management
приветствовать наш
of
героический экипаж.
Russian Aviation, to greet our
Успешным возвращением
historic crew and to congratulate
с
you
окончанием программы.
on your successful return and completion of flight.
У нас
This time,
на редкость действительно
it's
народный экипаж.
indeed an international crew,
Возвратились на родную землю.
and you have returned to
Как
the native earth.
не только людей, но и нашей страны. Вообще,
And
программа может стать примером, как
this space program
решать вопросы
is an example of how we can resolve all the economic issues.
возвращения домой,
Congratulations on successful return
нелегкой, но
home,
работы.
and
Мы прекрасно знаем,
congratulations on the completion of your difficult job.
необыденностью это по-прежнему работа очень мужественных людей.
We know that your work is work of very courageous and strong people.
Разрешите по старому казахскому
Allow me,
вручить вам
according to Kazakh
национальную чапаны.
custom, to hand you a gift. Thank you.
В память о пребывании на Кустанайской земле разрешите вам вручить небольшие сувениры.
As a memory of Kustanai, here are small souvenirs,
Чтобы вы помнили, какая земля вас
so that you remember
возвращения.
our earth,
Промки, я обращаюсь прежде всего,
the earth to which you returned.
обеспечивал полет. У нас вот тут неожиданно девочка одна, Елена, появилась.
A little girl,
Нарисовала.
Elena, appeared here
Разрешите вам.
surprisingly, and she made drawings for you. Thank you.
Также разрешите поздравить
Also,
обеспечивал
congratulations to everyone who supported
выполнением
your landing. And again, congratulations on the completion of your goals. All the best to you.
Уважаемый Сергей, уважаемый
Dear Sergey,
Сатоши,
dear Satoshi,
поздравляю вас.
congratulations from Rosaviatia, and congratulations on completion of your expedition.
Является выдающимся, который вы решали
Your
необъятными.
work in space is outstanding, and the goals that you have met are amazing,
От души поблагодарю.
enormous. The most important thing is that you have returned to Earth successfully.
Акиму
From the bottom of my heart, I would like to say my thanks to the Akim of the city
в обеспечении
and
посадки.
to those people who participated in assuring your landing. The meteorological conditions were very complicated.
Я не буду долго.
I am not going to take your
Традиция
time, and
мы выручаем
according to the tradition,
с вашими фотографиями.
we're giving you the gift of matryoshkas with your photos on them. Thank you.
Пожалуйста, пресс-конференция. Вопросы. Можно вопрос задать?
May I ask a question? Yes, go ahead.
Hello, friends. I'm journalist. My name is Kabaev. I'm sorry, I'm very bad speaking in English, but I have some questions. Speak me, please, about how in cosmos, and do you like your profession?
Of course, for all of us, this has been our dream for many years. It takes the road to space is a very long one. With the help of many people also for the excellent training that we receive in many places around the world. But there's nothing that can compare to living in space and working for half of a year. It's magnificent. The work is very good, very rewarding.
Fully successful. We accomplished many scientific experiments. For example, from medical point of view, we created protein crystallization of cancer remedy treated protein. Because under microgravity, you have better quality protein crystallization. And on the other hand, when cancer cells grow, new cancer-feeding vessels grow around the cancer cell. So if you inhibit the growth of these vessels, it may lead to cancer remedy. So we created that. That's called angiogenesis. Angiogenesis inhibition-related protein, and it is under investigation of 3D structure on the ground.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, Mike, welcome back. Just give us some first impressions of what it feels like to finally be back after 5.5 months.
Oh, gravity's rough. Yeah, it really is. It's such a big difference. The ride home was so amazing. It was very different from my previous experience with space shuttle flights. It's a very efficient vehicle. That means it's really tight. It fits three guys perfectly, and not much extra room. But coming home was, it was everything I expected. They can't train you for some of this, but I did spend a lot of time talking to some of the most recent crews to come home in a Soyuz, to get a really good understanding of what it was going to be like. And I'm glad, because it's different. At times it's violent. Coming as we do the atmospheric reentry, it's kind of like you're inside a Roman candle, because you see these. It's an ablative heat shield, which means it burns away and it comes off in pieces that are flaming, glowing, just incandescent orange, and they're coming by the window, right by the window, and you feel that. This is amazing.
So you just finished up about, 4 or 5 days of handing over with Dan Burbank. Pretty short compared to what we typically have whenever one crew hands over to another. Talk about kind of what you guys talked about and how you were able to really get all that done within just a really short amount of time.
We started Dan's handover about 2.5 months ago, when we knew that he was going to be delayed, and we started doing videos on board. I started doing his handover before he arrived. So I would be doing a certain task and say, let's set up the video recorder, get the microphone on me, and then let's just talk through it. Hey, Dan, here's how you do this, that kind of thing. And so he's had the chance to study that, and in some ways, maybe better prepared, because if he didn't understand it all the first time, he just rewinds, hits it again, and and then he watched these until he really understood it. And so they hit the ground running. It's just one American coming up there, and he's well prepared. But we used every waking minute, and we took some away from sleep to just go through, because there's a lot to learn. The USOS, or the American side of the station, which does include the Japanese and European modules, but it's very large, and people have been living in it for years. The central part of the station over 11 years now. And so there's a lot of things that have just been passed on from crew to crew. where things are stowed, how you really hook it together, what the procedure, will eventually say, but it doesn't yet because they haven't updated it. All those kind of things take a lot of time, and and it was very busy, and they're going to be very busy. And I intend to get over to the Mission Control Center, to talk to him, as soon as we get home in the next few days. And he has my cell phone number, and so I expect to hear from him, and that's totally fair. We wanted more time, but we did what we could.
Okay, so Mike, you were up there during the last shuttle mission. You said farewell to Atlantis. It's a huge event for NASA. Talk a little bit about, whenever you reflect back on that, what that was like.
It was, being there for the last flight of the space shuttle program was huge. It was emotional for all of us. The first shuttle mission I worked was STS-3 back in 1982 when I was loaned over from the Air Force to NASA. So I have a long history with the shuttle program. I saw it, back in the very early days, and we've grown up, with a very successful program. We've learned some hard lessons through her, but for a generation has known us as a nation that flies space shuttles on a fairly routine basis, and so to be part of that historic last mission. It was huge. It was a wonderful crew. They were so great. It's shorthanded. They just had 4 people, but they hit the ground running and did so much. They were so effective, and we had a great time with them. And they did. I mean, we all did great work together. And I'm just lucky to be there.
Last question. Whenever you look back at your expedition, you guys were extremely busy, had a lot of milestones. What will you remember the most? The top 1 or 2 things that you'll remember the most about your time up there?
Yeah, I kind of make a joke. We're proud that we fixed more than we broke and we found more than we lost. And that's one way to kind of measure your effectiveness. When we changed from the shuttle era, which was really defined the space station construction era. And we went from assembly to kicking up the science program into full gear, and we did. And so we were meeting and exceeding our science goals every week, including when we went down to a 3-person crew. We kept up. We still made the science numbers. We're proud of that. My most memorable moment was probably when I was able to capture, to see the aurora as it really blossomed. And that's the only way to describe it. I'd seen it before on my previous space shuttle flights. I've seen it on the ground many years ago, a very good display on the ground. But in the shuttle flights, when the sun is at a low level of activity, it's a little green on the horizon. This was amazing because you could see the auroras, the northern and southern auroras, come in, and they form kind of a donut around the magnetic pole or poles, and that's where it comes this energy, the particles come streaming in to set up this glow, and you could see it, and then you could see enough of it to understand the 3-dimensional shape of it. And at times, and I'm not sure exactly what makes this happen, but it spread far enough that we flew through it. And I'm in the cupola with the cameras, clicking away, and wow, we're really getting close this time. And I realized we're going through it, and it's not a solid thing. It looks like it in the pictures, but as you get up close, it's more ethereal. But you are enveloped, and you know that. And not just the green, but the reds, and even blues. I caught some blue aurora, which is the same color blue as our flight suits, and that was just amazing.
Well, it's good to have you back, Mike.
And you know what I liked about the aurora too, and I could gush on that all day, but I managed to capture it on the cameras to share it. Because, I loved seeing it for myself, but I think to me it was really a huge thing to be able to capture that so that I could share that with people. And I had such a response from folks that enjoyed, those images. And so I'm proud of that. And it had nothing to do with our official mission. That was the stuff I was doing at night, trying to figure out how to capture those images and things like that. So, so we kept the station going. We handed over to the next crew, and we, did some good work and had some fun along the way.
Well, welcome back.
Thanks a bunch.
Товарищ первый заместитель председателя Государственной комиссии.
Comrade First Deputy of State Committee.
Союз.
Soyuz
702.
702.
Замечание.
Crew
Все живы, здоровы.
arrived, no issues in flight, we're all healthy. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Good for you.
Егор, привет.
Hello. Hi.
Привет. Я тоже там цветы привез. Да. Вот это вот букет. А вот.
Here is the bouquet for you. Thank you.
Ну что, пойдем?
Let's go.
Поедем.
Let's drive.
Или вот тогда я с вами. Так, а где же отец? Спасибо.